Hi all. Oh, finally got the cockpit, interior, whatever you want to call it, done. The only thing I have to add is the tachometer cable and an air pump. I know it's between the seats, but there's not a lot of room, so I don't know what they did. So anyway, what's next is the tranny. When I get the tranny done, obviously the motor's going to be in there and everything's going to start falling together. Well, hopefully being put together. These seats were a bear cat. Ugh, what a pain. They were, the way they were sitting on the bottom of the floorboard and it didn't look right. So I'm adding these little pieces of sprue in the front, which I will sand down as I get going, to make them canted back a little. And I'm thinking that was somewhat of a slight mistake. Now these two seats go together really, really weird. Alright, now I'm trying to see where to cut it. These both seats join, as you can see there. Oops, you didn't see in that picture. See how they're joined? I got to kind of get it to bend in those corners. Somewhat a good job, but I noticed later on a picture in Germany that you can see a beading, a black leather bead or something going around like the cockpit combing on a World War I aircraft. So now I'm just kind of guessing where to cut this thing at, because the mechanic seat would be no fun to set in. It's half cut off, and you'll see. That's the mechanic seat I'm working on. I got to trim the width. Yeah, this was, I'd be like, you might. I guess, they're not in there that long. Well, this car was used and raced on ovals until the 20s and in the United States, so I have no idea why they needed a mechanic in there. Like he's going to jump out and open the hood while it's moving. I don't know. Only thing I can think of is he supplied air pressure. Yes, he ate a plate of beans the night before. You can see all the scratches in the floorboard from me pushing them in and out. I didn't have to do anything forward of that. Can't see it. I should start bending it. Yeah. Get it to curl around. What I found out, which you'll find out in a little bit, is the driver's seat should have been just maybe a 16th of an inch further forward. How can you do that with plans? I matched it up as best I could, but I ended up finding out with this mold and what I did, it needed to be a little bit further forward than it is. So I had to ad lib. You'll see it. Now I'm gluing the seats together. Now I'm mixing really quick, super quick, some putty. Two-part putty. I don't even know the brand name. Stuff took forever to dry, I thought, but it really didn't. I'm going to make the seat backs and actually the cushions on the seat with it. But I didn't put the cushions on the seat inside on it yet because I thought I'd just leave them hardened but seat shaped, kind of, because they were square, quite squarish looking. And so anything I got hanging over the sides has to be trimmed off. But it's just me hurry up and goofing with it. I don't even know if I show what's left of me making 2 seat pads with it, but that was actually the easy part. And this is before I found out the seat needed to be further forward. It's actually dry. I think, right? No, it ain't. The reason why I'm saying that is I'm taking out excess with that, so it's more of a flat surface for the seat cushion. I wish I'd have speeded this one up to a little bit more faster than I am now, but I'm putting the very pronounced ridges. Kind of hoping for tuck and roll, but when I looked at the photo, now I'm making the seat. I'm just kind of flattening them out and I'm making them bigger than they should. My worry was I permanently glue them to my bottom. There it is. They're done, supposedly. I still haven't found out, and I've been sanding those down to get it to fit. Now I'm going to paint them, which I'll have to paint again because I had to change the driver's seat back a little, moving it forward looking. This looks like it's black, but it really isn't. It's black brown. And I already cleaned it up, sanded it as best I could. Used a lot of sanding sticks and small files, round files. Now here I am after it dried, so just making sure. Putting a brick red, I'm calling it that. It's actually, I don't remember the name of it. I want to say it's primer red for Panzers, but I'm not sure. I'm taking some light brown, adding it up the middle. To kind of, so you see the depth. Adding lighter, I thought I did. Yeah, I did. Now this will all be blended somewhat. Now I'm waiting to see if I should be putting the highlight, the ochre color. Alright, now I'm doing a dab of different colors with a sponge. And notice I'm also sponging the napkin. Alright, this is where I'm telling you the driver's seat wasn't far enough. My cheap fix. I used some British putty I bought, and I haven't used it a lot, but it seems to be water-based, but it sands well, and it stays on pretty good. So I use that to make the back, drop that stuff there a little further forward. I'm trying to smooth it out now, make the back seat appear to be further forward than it actually is. Actually, it did, because I had to shove it back in further. So now I'm using some alcohol. If it's water-based, this should work. I'm smoothing it out, trying to, but the stuff is extremely creamy. Then I dip that in there, and I'll use it to make my little ripples in it. Now I'm trying out the steering wheel. I got a piece in front of, between where the engine cowl starts. There's the seats. They're done. Anyway, that's that white piece there. That has to be removed. But it was more to keep it in line instead of spreading out. All right. That's done. Here I'm drilling out holes for the foot pedals. I'm kind of wondering what I'm doing here. This is going to sound stupid. I know the levers on this side. One is for switching gears. I thought the other one was a clutch. What I watched him do was they would flip the one forward, change gears, and pull the other one back. So I'm thinking that's a clutch. And for some reason I got 3 pedals, one for the gas and one for a brake. And I don't know what the other one's for at all. I have no idea. And I've seen this in photographs. Not all of them have this, so I don't know which one to go to. Which one do I believe? This was a little harder. It went on good, but trying to get that to go a 90, I should have cut it, but I didn't. And I hit it with some super glue, and I let it set. Yeah, I actually stopped it here for a bit to hold it, and the thing still didn't hold. But it's for leather stuff. There it's in. So I still got to mess with that upper corner yet on the back of the car. I actually have a crack there that I haven't fixed yet. Now this I'm painting. The pedals are actually that greenish blue color. Looks kind of gray here. I'm hitting a scratch in the bottom of the floor panel. Oh, actually what I was doing there is I did hit scratches. What they are is the things that are holding the pedals out that you seen me cut out. Now this looks like black paint. It isn't, but it's certainly acting that way. I wish I could have cut the grooves finer in the pedals, but I didn't. And I took some. These are made out of metal. I took some. I can't think what they call it. Pencil, and rubbed it around it to give it a slight shine. And I think right now I'm just doing a little bit of aluminum, or actually chrome silver. Notice I made enough. Was that guy an octopus who drives it? Now I took some of this. This is pastel. And I had a couple little chips. I'm smashing them down. And then I'm going to feather over them like you can't see. Now you can see the wear spots in the floor. I'm adding some. I had that, but I thought it was just so boring. Why should you see it? I'm adding some there where the pedals are. Gas pedals on the far right. I'm painting in like a little bit of trying to. I don't find brush anymore. I killed them all with the last figure. I also got to trim that combing. I'm using a little bit of water to smear it out a little. Now I am using pastel, that same pigment color, that yellowish brown, tan, whatever you want to call it. And then you just put that on there. It makes like dust in the corners. That's what it looks like. So you know, hey, this thing was run all over the place, but where it set its record at, and it did set a record at 142 miles an hour at the Salt Flats in the United States. First time it was used for that. There it is, somewhat done, and the next stuff will be even funner yet. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.